Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Trogdor. It's Trogdor, right? Yeah, Dragon Man, Mr. Burninator. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I've got another PTL match. That's right. Well, no, team builders come before battles. So the match is tomorrow. Team builders today. Yeah, you get it. Whatever. Okay. So we're in the home stretch of this season, I'd say. We've got like this and then 4 other battles, which may seem like a lot, but considering how long the season's been so far, yeah, it's crazy. Some people are already getting like hyped up into the playoffs run. I'm not getting into playoffs. That's like a certainty. I'm just fighting to like not be relegated at this point, but at the same time, I've kind of accepted my fate. I have some super tough matches ahead of me, including this one, and you know, it's more about just like seeing how well I can actually use this team for the remainder of my season, and you know, just to have fun and stuff. So my opponent is Mid Pokemaster. He's the commissioner of Kentucky Torracats, and he's got a really good team. Let me go over it for you guys real quick. Mega Lopunny, he's incredibly good at using this Pokemon. He's got Vikavolt, Florges, Alolan Muck, Donphan, Haxosaurus Rex, Gastrodon, Stakataka, Rotom Heat, Cofagrigus, and Misprit. So the biggest number 1 threat there is Mega Lopunny. The rest of his team, I could honestly see any of these 5 coming. So that's like 10 Mons. I could see any set of these coming up. Donphan can be really annoying for my team. It does damage to a lot of things. It can take hits for days. It does, you know, it can check Aegislash decently. It can check Galvantula decently, Salazzle, a bunch of things on my team. Alolan Muck is like number 1 in the world stop to Latias. That's why I'm not bringing it. Florges can be really good, especially since I have, well, my Dragon spam isn't really all there, but it's just a good Pokemon nonetheless. Rotom Heat, like, and Vikavolt, those 2 are kind of extraneous. I bet one of those 2 it's coming. I hope it's the Rotom just because I can deal with it a little bit better, but Vikavolt, you know, it's there, it's annoying. Stakataka can run a good Trick Room set and hits super hard. I've used Cofagrigus in the past myself, and I know how annoying it can be. And yeah, so right away on my screen you can see what I'm starting out with, and that is Galvantula. I'm bringing Sticky Webs just because, well, I mean, first of all, his Lopunny is super fast and annoying. The things that are immune to it are kind of slow, and well, Rotom's not any slouch, but Vikavolt, Misprit, they're kind of on the slow side, but having webs would be really beneficial for like one of the strategies I've got for this game. It's not horribly important. It could like force him into a defog, although he's got better rapid spin options in Donphan. I think Rotom's like his only defogger, but yeah, does Florges get defogged now too? Anyway, yeah, Galvantula, I'm running something new, Infestation, just because I might get into a favorable matchup in the lead. Could switch out into something else. I'll Infestation it. It's forced to stay, and I can go into something else that better deals with it. It's just something that I'm curious to try. I'm going to be Volt switching most of the time, but you know, he's got things like Donphan and Gastrodon to switch into that, but I've got Energy Ball. It's not going to be OHKOing Donphan, but it can do a huge chunk to Gastrodon. But having Infestation on them on the switch would be really useful, because then I could, you know, break the sturdy of Donphan, wouldn't break the berry of Gastrodon, but the residual damage is fantastic. So that's Galvantula. Next up, I've got my Alolan Ninetales. I'm running a Choice Scarf set with Aurora Veil, which, if anyone's been watching my battles for a decent amount of time, they know I love to run this kind of shit. So part of my plan is to like get up an Aurora Veil and set up with something. Big surprise, right? But no, Alolan Ninetales can actually do a lot of damage, like just as a Choice Scarfer. Like if the team is weakened and it's big threats that are left are like Lopunny, and Haxorus and maybe like the Gastrodon, I can just Moonblast for days. If it's like, I've got Freeze Dries because that does donk the Gastrodon really, really hard. I've got Hidden Power Fighting for the Stakataka. That's probably going to be his like primary switch into me. So it's like one turn I set up the Aurora Veil, and then he switches into Stack, and I'm like, nope, I have to switch. Well, I'm switching because I have to. And the next turn I can just, go for the HP Fighting on the predicted switch into that. That's a likely thing to happen, right? It could be. Ninetales is just a really good support Pokemon. I don't know if I'm going to be picking up KOs, but that's just a possibility. So next up I have Mr. Fish, the Mega Gyarados. I'm running a very, very bulky set on this just because... okay, so in base form, I've got the Intimidate, right? That'll get Lopunny down to low enough attack that I can... Okay, my thought process is I can live any 2 hits switching from regular form to Mega form. I can dunk, I can't OHKO it, but I can break a sub with any of my moves, and then Thunder Wave it. Having the yellow magic, like as a form of speed control is like one of my one of the things that I really, really need. So getting the Thunder Wave off on a few things, like, yeah, there are a few things that are immune to it, but Gastrodon, I can hit Gastrodon with Water Ball. I can hit Rotom with Earthquake. I can hit, Crunch does a ton of damage. I'm not set up, I'm not super invested, but, I'm pretty tanky. That lets me live a lot of hits. It's makes me a much better check to Lopunny. That's kind of the idea around it. Who's next? Braviary. Yeah, okay. So I recently made Braviary one of my Z move users. And I was looking around the move pool, and I noticed, like, Bulk Up, if I use Z Bulk Up, not only does that give me my attack and defense boost, it also gives me, +1 attack. I was looking into things to see if I could run some like spicy speed increasing set, but I just figured this is the better option overall. And if I have webs up, I can like set this up and just like start bird spamming, frustration, superpower for that Stakataka. Yeah, Stakataka is the one thing that it's like if it switches into a Brave Bird, it takes like 2%, and then I superpower and it's gone. And I'd still be at optimally +1 attack. Alternatively, if it's like I don't get a chance to set up and it's like I've got one huge hit, I go for the, Z Frustration, unless he switches into Cofagrigus, which, based on the team that I have, it's maybe it will show up, maybe it won't. So Braviary can potentially get up a nice setup, especially if webs are up, and if I'm also behind Aurora Veil, it's like I'm gonna go over do bulk ups for days and then just spam Brave Bird on everything. Alternatively, if I don't have my webs up, I've got Terrakion. The last time I brought a Double Dance set, I got Toxic, and this thing just went down. This time I'm bringing Double Dance and Lumberry. Same exact set. Speed, I think that gets me past... Well, for sure it'll outspeed, like, Lopunny, but... So, Ninetales is meant to outspeed Haxorus at Jolly Max, and I think that's not quite where Terrakion is. I might need to make this Jolly so that But then again, if I can't really see that happening. No, I'm gonna keep Terrakion the way it is. So it's Close Combat and Stone Edge. Things like Donphan can take a hit. Things like Florges, kind of, but not really. But for the most part, if I get to +2, I'm just gonna run through a weakened team, especially if I'm behind Aurora Veil and I can get to like +4 or something. So that would be insane. And lastly, I'm bringing my Aegislash, Bittersteel. This sword is cursed, so anyone in future, I'm forewarning everyone in the PTL, if we keep this thing legal, which I think is going to happen just because part of the allure of the league is we've got a bunch of broken stuff. This sword is cursed. Don't ever draft it. You will lose. That's been like the tradition of anyone who's ever gotten the spoopy sword. Anyway, I'm King's Shield, Sacred Sword, Shadow Ball, Iron Head, hits everything. I'm mostly physically defensive with a lot of Spadef investment just so I can live a bunch of hits. The point is to like take any hit, make Lopunny go to -2, and be able to hit back really hard. Like, I think this 2-hit KO is everything. That or like this plus Shadow I was thinking of running Shadow Sneak that's actually useful, come to think of it, because if it's like I get Stack down to it's sturdy, then I can just bop it. And yeah, so that's the point. Oh yeah, and of course, like I was thinking Shadow Ball, I don't want to get mummified, but mummy doesn't work on stance change. That's one of the mechanics, just because last season I was researching it and it's like it couldn't work on a few abilities, including stance change, and I think it was disguise Mimikyu, and there's some other things, but yeah, so Cofagrigus can't do that much to me, so I can King Shield and pick it off with Shadow Sneak. So that's the team. Like I said, I'm mostly going into this like I'm not gonna be super gung-ho about it. I've accepted my fate, but I just want to see, you know, what I can do for the rest of the season. So yeah, battle's gonna be up tomorrow. I'm gonna be getting on into it in a few hours here later today as I record this. So once you see this, the battle's already happened. So anyway, that's all from me today. Like the video if you liked it, all that jazz. Subscribe if you're new. I've also got all my PPL videos coming into the channel, so check those out too, because I'm having a lot of fun with that league as well. Anyway, that's all from me. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.